Eric Roberts has been gracing big and small screens since the late 70s with memorable roles in films like King of the Gypsies, Runaway Train, The Pope of Greenwich Village, and The Dark Knight. However, it all hasn't been glitz and glamour for the Georgian native. Eric has faced struggles with addiction for years, and it's something he's been very candid about. In hopes of helping others, in September of 2024, this Academy Award nominee added author to his long list of accomplishments when he released Runaway Train, or The Story of My Life So Far. It's a brutally honest memoir where he talks about the ups and downs of his career. I just want to jump right in. You moved to New York when you were 17. I can't imagine that your family gave you a great reaction. I mean, come on, 17 is super young. Would you have let your 17-year-old daughter go off to New York on her own?
My family was so fractured at that point that they waved goodbye and then went, "Is he gone?" And it was like it was not an emotional thing. It was not a big deal. It was just, I got to go, guys. See you, bang. And I went, and they went, okay. And it was just kind of, okay. And so it was. But my grandfather, who was a horseman, he raised Tennessee Walkers. He uh, he tried to talk me out of it. He said that he told like he just had a very deep voice, very southern accent. He said to me, "I'd rather you didn't go try to do this acting thing. It ain't going to be good for you." And also, there's all kinds of deviants in that business. It's all kinds of people you don't want to be seen with or socialize with or have a life with, and I don't really approve of the whole situation. And I know if you knew what you're getting into, you wouldn't be getting into it. That's kind of where he left me. And I explained to him that I just had to give it a shot. And he felt very bad for me. I think he thought I was quietly, closetedly homosexual
Mhm.
because he would say to me things like, your cousin Adam's a tough boy. You're not a tough boy. He would say stuff like that to me because I was a theater kid. I was
Yeah,
for him. I was a sissy. So,
right.
he had issues with that, and the fact that I was going to be an actor was confirmation that I was a sissy.
Well, I mean, in my mom's generation, her parents being an actress was like you were a prostitute, you
There you
know?
go.
Yeah,
There-
there you go. But do you realize what a baby you were at 17?
Well, I did not then, and I didn't until I was about 50. And then when I turned 50, I went, wow, look at this journey I've been on. Because when you turn 50, you get in touch with your mortality and
Mhm.
in touch with the fact that you're not going to be around. And you get in touch with the fact you have things you have to finish. And it's a very profound age, 50, or at least it was for me. And so uh, what was the question?
I was gonna say, like, I know I look back at even my 20s and go, "Oh my god, I thought I knew everything, and I was an idiot." Like, 17 going from Georgia to New York was like, y and you think you know everything. You have to, at one point, looked back and went, "Oh my god," "W I can't believe I did that at that age."
Well, I had no choice really. It was
Mhm.
either do that or do nothing. And if I did nothing, I was going to have a life like my father and or my grandfather, and I didn't want that life. And they're both okay guys to some degree, but they're both tough, mean guys who had lots of regrets. And I didn't want to go there. So I ran away,
Mhm.
got lucky. And that's really the truth. I was probably the best trained actor of my age. Had the most experience for my age of any other living actor at that time because I've been doing it since I was 4 years old, 8 to 12 plays every year of my life, and so I was ready, but I didn't know what I was ready for because I was completely naive, and so I let people lead me, and sometimes they led me down paths that were not perfect, but I survived it, and I love show business and my career like I love my wife all
Mhm,
day, every day. I just
mhm.
love what I do, and I love the fact they allow me to do it.
I love the show, I hate the business. So, I think most creative people feel the same way.
Well, I've learned not to. I've learned to totally accept the fact that it's weird, it's unpredictable, it's unkind a lot of the times, but it's consistently what it is, and it's a tightrope walk. And if you got good balance, you're going to survive.
Okay, I'm gonna say that to my attorneys and my agents.
Okay.
Um, you really ran, and this is talking about the early days in New York with, and I say this as a compliment, a real murderer's row of friends. And you all went on to become very successful. I mean, heavyweights like Christopher Walken, Mickey Rourke, Bruce Willis, Robin Williams. What do you remember most about sort of those early years when you were all in the same place?
Well, Robin and I had a very emotional relationship. I think Robin looked at himself as my older, wiser brother. He was always reprimanding me uh, for caring too much about the preciousness, and he would beat me up verbally about that. He would say, you know, it's not that, it's this, it's not that, it's that, and blah blah blah. And he was rough with me, and but we liked each other, we admired each other, and that was our relationship. He would play older brother to me, and I would allow it, even though I saw that he was not really an older brother to me, and that his talent was completely different from my talent. It was
Mhm.
like talking about milk and eggs. We were completely different, and so there was no comparison. There was no competitiveness. It was just him putting himself in that position with me all the time, and he seemed to enjoy it, and he seemed to love beating me up verbally a lot, and but he was an admirer of my work, and he would be very specific about what he liked. Like he couldn't believe Star 80. He was so freaked out by that movie, by my performance, and by Bob Fosse's direction. He would talk about the first half hour that I ever saw him for like 10 years. He was talking about that movie. Oh my God, there he is. Go on and on. You know how he was. And
Yeah.
so that was Robin. And then I didn't see Robin for probably close to 5 years when he died, because I was on the road and he was on the road. So we
Mhm.
we we didn't touch base. But he was a true, crazy, wonderful, enchanting, educational friend.
And
I
it
love.
sounds like he cared.
He did. He did. He like saw my talent and he loved my talent. So he liked me for my talent. Yeah, he was very kind in that aspect.
What, when you got to New York, was your first audition? Not your first big audition, your first audition.
My first audition in New York City would have been for the American Academy of Dramatic Art for the school itself. And I got in that day and thought I had conquered the world. I didn't realize that the American Academy is only as good as its current administration.
Mhm.
It ha- has or had good teachers, it was a good school. And when it didn't, it wasn't. I was very lucky. I had a teacher named Jory Weiler, a wonderful woman who was an incredible guide, an incredible teacher, an incredible woman, Jory Weiler. And she took very good care of me, and that I was very well trained. I was ready to go. And she saw that, and she guided me, and she gave me very difficult homework, and I would go do it, and I'd bring it back to her, and we had a great relationship. And uh, I did not get asked back to the American Academy as a senior. At the end of my junior year, I was not asked back.
Wow.
Um, and so, but that day, oddly enough, I met Marion Dougherty, who discovered everybody from Richard Harris to Julie Andrews.
Why
So
didn't you get asked back?
It's so long ago, I don't really know, but probably because uh, I didn't grovel. The, the teachers there, there were a couple of great teachers like Jory, but most of the teachers there were unemployed actors. And so when you're cocky, which I was, because I was very prepared, I felt. So I was very, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. And I was very not full of myself, but just confident. I could do what I could do. And
Hmm.
they didn't like not being able to teach me, I think. Now it's also ego involved there too. So uh I'm only being as honest as I'm able to be.
Of course.
And I was also a child, and that's also 45 years ago. So I don't really honestly remember, if I'm honest. I
Yeah.
remember what I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you look back on your younger self and like, wow, I really thought I knew everything.
You're so right. It is.
What was your first big audition? How long was it before you got that first big role?
Well, I don't remember the first audition, but I remember the first transition that happened with the meeting, and it was Marion Dougherty, who was the casting director of the 20th century, uh, came to the American Academy because she heard they had some very good acting students and they were doing plays. She came to watch us. So she did. She came backstage after and she beelined her for me and said, "You're going to be an actor. You're going to be a star. I want to be a part of it. And here's what we're going to do. You're going to go." And she gave me Juliet Taylor's address, which was a building Marion owned. It was a small brownstone on the east side, I think between 30 and 31st Street on Madison-ish. Anyway, so I went and I met Juliet Taylor, who
Who, for people who don't know, was a massive casting agent as well.
well, she's now, the queen of casting as Marion was.
Yes.
Now it's Juliet Taylor, and Juliet Taylor introduced me to a Bill Tresh, who was my manager. He was also Chris Walken, Tom Berenger, Tom Hulse, Carol Kane, Sissy Spacek, all kinds of incredible, talented people. He was their manager as well, and he asked if he could handle my career. I said, "Well, of course you can. I have no career. Let's go." So we did, and that was the that's what Marion Doherty is who changed my life, and because of her, I got all the opportunities that I got.
Right.
And Bill
When did
Trish,
you I was gonna say, when did you first think, "Okay, I can make a living doing this?"
uh, when I'm working for Joe Papp down the Public Theater, and I'm making whatever it was, $180 a week, and I thought I had this fantasy that even if I only always make $180 a week, I will always make $180 a week. That's how it felt. And there was lots of hope with that first job. And being down around the public theater was just glorious because you had all those actors, all those sets, all those rooms, all those stages. And it was get up and go time. It was wonderful.
I always ask people, what was your first big check and what did you buy with it?
I don't remember because I never handled my money. So
Okay, what did you buy? What was the first big thing you felt safe buying?
I bought a CJ5 Jeep that many years later almost killed me.
But I always love, like, what you think is like, "Okay, this is my big I've arrived purchase." You just brought up you worked with some incredibly, I don't know if the right, well, difficult and complicated actors, and you were not the easiest, as I've been told, to work with either. Um, who how do you navigate that? Because you always hear about people having very different methods and this and, like, Olivier saying to Hoffman, "Try acting." You know what I mean? Like, how do you navigate that?
Well,
That's gotta be very, it's gotta be hard. I mean, it's hard enough when you work with someone in a regular job that you don't particularly like or get along with.
whenever anyone is gonna have a status kind of an issue, I just hide behind my character. I just go into character and I stay there, and that's my wall. And that's where I'm safe if I'm in character. So if I'm in character, you can't get near me. And,
Hmm.
and so that's what I do. Um, uh, yeah, and my wife also taught me many things about myself and my participation in things. And one of the handiest things she ever made very clear to me was you can only see others through yourself. You only see anything through what you are. And so I have learned in my married life, which is half my life, but I've learned this half of my life to not be so judgmental, to not be so blamey, to not be so it's not my fault, to not be that guy.
Well,
And
that's very evolved of you because I'm in the middle of a project that someone was suggested to be a part of it, and the other producers and I looked at each other and said, "Life's too short." You know what I mean?
well, I'm not sure that happened with my career on many days, because uh, my wife, we got together, she finally said to me, people think you're an asshole. I said, really? Why? She goes, and you're not. This is what kills me. You're a great guy. You don't speak to people. You're not polite.
She did.
Yeah. I said, well, I'm only here for the work. No, that's half your job is the work. The other half is your presentation of yourself. You have to shake hands, you have to be nice to people, you have to say, excuse me, you have to say, thank you, have to say, please. You have to be a human being. You're not just an actor who's in character. Do you understand? I was like, yeah, okay. And but she kind of shaped me up in that aspect of myself. And she kind of taught me how to not be so self-concerned, but just to you can still enjoy and wallow in the work, Eric, but you also have to raise your head and say, how do you do it? It's so nice to meet you. You have to be nice to people, and you have to make them comfortable to be around you. You don't do that yet. You have to start doing that. That's why people don't like you. I'm like, okay. And so I shaped it up. And because you know, um I raised myself. And I didn't have an example. So I did not do a great job, but my wife did.
Um, you've had amazing co-stars. Who, at this point in your life, would you love to work with again?
Again, somebody I work with again.
I mean, because
I
you look at your resume and again, it's the level of talent and of the generation, and you all work together at some point. Who would you say, God, I would love to work with this person again?
Annie Potts, Susan Sarandon, um, um, Mickey Rourke, um, James Earl Jones, we lost him. A lot of people I'd love to work with again. A lot of people. My wife, who's my favorite actor, not because I married her, but because of a movie we made together. We made many movies together, but one called Love Is a Gun that I'm very proud of because she's just remarkable in it. And so there's lots of people I would like to work with again. There's almost, you know, I won't name who it is, but I think there's only one actor out of all these hundreds of appearances, only one actor that I would avoid working with again.
Oh, you have to tell me. I'll tell you who I will
Oh, I would
never
never
inter
name him. I
Oh
would
my
never
god.
name him.
There is one person when I see them coming, I literally, like, find a piece of furniture to crawl under and, like, get into, like, earthquake preparedness position.
There's only one actor I can think of out of all of my things who I would say nope because they're in it. I can't do it. And and it's only one, and I will never tell you who it is, so you can't, so you don't bother asking. But I think, but that's saying how great my experiences have been, really.
Yeah.
And I like actors. Most people don't.
Is there anyone who would say, "I will never work with him again," meaning you?
Oh, probably.
You know, because you hear all this we were just talking about this the other night where Hugh Grant were like it's like the running joke that all of the actresses he works with hate him during the movies and end up loving him. Oh,
Oh,
there was just a whole thing how he made Drew Barrymore cry on set. I mean,
such a
and
fan of his.
he
Wow.
but he makes fun of himself now, but literally, like, everyone, he's like, "I had no idea I was such a jerk."
Wow.
Um, what movie do you look back at and say, "God, I would love to make that now from the perspective I have now"? I know, I went deep. I have no idea why. It is so not in character for me.
Oh, uh, I really don't know because I each movie is its own love affair, and they're complete. You fall in love, you have your love affair, and then it's over, and you move on. And there's no you have a bit of sadness, but you're not broken by the ending. It's just
Mhm.
over. And it's like a very civilized breakup in a love affair, and a very calm breakup. It's the same thing with the end of a movie. You feel sad, but you're moving on to something else that's just as good or better.
Okay, which character would you love to relive again?
Would I love to relive again? Probably. This is going to sound really silly, but it's because of my granddaughters. Probably First Dog. I played the president of the United States who loves his dog. And my little granddaughters love that movie.
There you go. That's a perfect answer. So let's get into Runaway Train or the story of my life so far. It came out last September. You said before that you wrote a very, which it is, honest book. Why was that the right time?
Well, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question, but let me tell you this that may answer that question. Uh, I was never going to write a book. I find books to be very self-involved, very self-oriented to no point. And especially with actors or entertainers, they all have the same structure. I was born a poor child in a poor situation, blah, 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 blah. I had to go through hardships, hardships, hardships. I got through it. And now I'm a success. And now I'm finally happy. And I have a marriage and children and money and houses and cars. And yes, thank you very much, life. Okay. I didn't want to go there. Uh, if you take my life as an outer shell, that's what it can look like. But the life is very different. And I would not be standing, let alone standing here, if it weren't for my wife. That's why I dedicated the book to her. She picked up the pieces. I was in many pieces, and she put them all together and said, "Now, if you can keep these together, you will be something. Go." I said, "Thank you, Don." And so that's what happened. And so that's why I dedicated the book to her. And that's why, oh yeah, back to why I wrote the book. So everybody's saying, when are you going to write a book? I'm not going to write a book. I find that to be way too self-concerned for my personality, and I'm not going to write a book. But publishers, people, fans on the street, everybody, when are you writing a book, dude? So my wife says, they all want to know. So I said, okay. Okay. Do I have to have a time limit? Yes. Well, how long can I have? A couple of years. Oh, well, I can do that. So I sat down and did it. And I used my wife as my editor. And she didn't allow any embellishment. She didn't allow any lying. She didn't allow any leave outs. And I wrote a book. And I'm very proud of it because it's the crux.
It's brutally honest.
Thank you.
What was the hardest part of it? What was the part that you went, "Oh god, I'm gonna share this. This is hard to look back on. This is a painful part of my life to write about."
One sentence. I wrote about my circumstance with the mother of my child, I wrote dot, dot, dot. I had already fucked that up. And to admit that and to know that and to write that are huge. And it crippled me that day that I wrote it.
Did you when you came out of that, did you take a deep breath at one point once you got that on paper?
Oh yeah, you once you get it down, you have faced the truth. It's you and the truth. And there's no, when you hold hands with the truth, you like yourself and you loathe yourself all in the same breath. And you have to be careful. You have to be careful.
You actually write an apology to your sister Julia in the book. Why did you wanna do that publicly? Did you get a reaction from her?
No, I didn't. But the thing is, uh, what I said being responsible for her having a career, as well as my as well as my daughter, uh, that's taking credit away from them. And my sister is a monster talent and a monster actor and a monster person. I love my sister very much, and I like my sister. I think she's cool, and always have. And actually, all the stuff kind of started kind of haphazardly. All the negative stuff, like I was doing when Pretty Woman first came out. I was doing an interview for some other movie. I think a George C. Scott film I was promoting. Anyway, and they were asking about Julie a lot. And I finally made a joke about, let's talk about me, shall we? Being what I thought was funny. Apparently it came across as needy. and then all the press started with the what's going on with Eric and Julie. Nothing. But that was that.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is what it is. And you just uh, you know, the education in how to deal with things that I've gotten from my wife is you must just always give other people the credit they deserve.
Mhm. They always say, or I had an acting teacher once make this comparison, that the best actors are always a little bit crazy, and instinctively you wanna watch the crazy person and keep them in front of you. What is it about you that people find so fascinating that they want to keep watching you? I am not implying that you're crazy, but as a species, actors are crazy.
I don't
What
have an answer for that. I don't know. Um, I think actors are different, and we are jesters who get power. And a jester has no power except through his talent in the court. And we forget that. We think we have power and status and and respectability and all this all built in. You don't. You have to earn every bit of it. And that's where actors get very pompous and full of themselves. They forget that every day is a new earning, and you have to drop yesterday and go on. And actors tend to forget that. We like to ride our laurels because we have many laurels. It's a quite nice business.
Okay, very exciting news. It was announced that Attack of the Killer Tomatoes Organic Intelligence is happening. What can you share with us about that? And I love the fact that you are almost now a journeyman actor and you're not typecast and you're doing Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. So fun. How did that happen? Why did you
I've
say yes?
I have learned how to have fun, and everything does not have to be an epic. Everything does not have to be showing what Eric Roberts can do as an incredible, gifted actor. Sometimes you can just have fun, and sometimes it is fun. And yeah, they came to me Just hearing the title is enough to say no to. No, thank you, no. But they came to me and I read the script and it was charming, and I had fun reading it. That's all it takes. So I called them back. Yeah, let's do this.
And you'll have it'll give your granddaughters another movie.
There you go. Good
That's
girl.
it. And I always love asking actors or anyone I'm interviewing, what are you watching now?
Well, the only thing that I'm hooked on right now is Paradise.
Oh, you're behind. It's so good.
God, what a show. What a show. Yeah. That's my favorite thing now on TV. But I'm a bore. I watch CNN.
I've had to stop watching news in general. I watch a half hour of the local news and a half hour of NBC, and then I'm done for the day.
I know my wife doesn't even do that. She stopped watching news. She's mad. She's pissed off.
So no reality shows?
No.
You don't have any embarrassing TV vice?
I really don't. I'm a real bore, and that's a fact, not an opinion.
Oh, God, I liked you so much until you said you don't watch things like Below Deck. I'm very upset. Who do you
Oh,
think
no,
is
no,
gonna
no,
be
no, no. I love something now. Oh, yeah, this is true because that's why I did the show. My wife is addicted to Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I did the show for my wife. And we found a place in the schedule for me to do it for her. And that was a gift to my wife.
And did you have fun?
Fun is not
She's
the
in the
word.
room, you better say yes.
Fun is not the word. I enjoyed it. I was satisfied by the fact that I could dance a little bit. I'm not a good dancer, but I had the best partner. I had Britt. Oh my God, so cool. And she was very good to me. She took very good care of me. And I fell in love with her as my partner. She's a fantastic human. And she's now a close family friend with me and my wife. I mean, we love Britt.
I always look at it as being paid to work out and get
Yeah.
really fit. Like, that would be the appeal for me, like, "Oh my god, I'm being paid to work out."
Yeah, I didn't know how much physicality goes into dancing up until I get up about after the fourth or fifth day of dancing, and I go, "Wow, my butt hurts," and my butt hurt that whole time, that whole experience. I had a sore ass.
Well, the last question for you, who of all the young actors right now, who do you think is gonna be the next great? Because there is a whole new crop suddenly.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit selfish here because I know her father.
No, you can't pick Emma.
No, no, I'm not going to do that to you. Emma's already established.
Yeah.
Emma's already
Oh, she's off and running.
she's a borderline super duper star.
Yeah.
So let's go somebody else. Let's go because I know her father. I like her father, and I like her, and she's a surprise. She surprised me. So this is why I'm naming Wes Duchovny, David Duchovny's daughter.
So she's your one to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Runaway Train, or the story of my life so far, is available right now. Eric, it is always a pleasure.
Oh, thank you, dog. You too. You
Thank you.
and tell me something. Is it like a screen in back you
No,
that
that's my actual kitchen. See, watch. Here's a napkin. I
I'm
can actually
kidding. I
throw
know you-
into it.
I was making a joke.
That's my actual question. Thank you so much.